Hey everyone, this is Ben with Childers Davidson Homes, and today I'm going to go over how to interpret market stats. So let's dive right in and go to our website, tacomahousingmarket.com, where we've broken down Tacoma into all of her lovely micro neighborhoods, and today we're going to use Central as an example. So every month we post these market stats. So let's dive right in and take a closer look on how to read them and what they mean. So let's zoom in here. We'll start with months of inventory, which is a 0.6 number here. And this is essentially a measure of how fast existing homes would sell if no additional homes were added to the market. For example, let's say you have 100 homes, and the average number of homes selling each month over the last 12 months was 20. So you simply take 100 divided by 20 and arrive at 5 months of inventory. So this lets us know whether we're in a balanced market, a seller's market, or a buyer's market. A balanced market is 6 months of inventory. If inventory exceeds this, we have an excess of inventory, and we're in a buyer's market. Buyers have the advantage. If inventory falls below this, we have a shortage of inventory, and we're in a seller's market. Sellers have the advantage. So in a seller's market, like we've been in for a number of years in Tacoma, sellers can typically get a higher dollar amount for their home, or even create a bid war, which may bring the sold price well above the original list price. It also means that sellers generally don't have to cover most or any of the closing costs for the buyer. These are known as seller concessions. Additionally, the buyer inspection period is often very short or even waived altogether. Hint, hint, buyers, to be competitive in a seller's market, consider having a pre-inspection conducted so you can confidently waive your inspection, making your offer more competitive. In a buyer's market, the opposite is true, where homes may sell for less than the original list price, or where sellers agree to cover all or part of the closing costs for the buyer. Inspection periods are also typically longer, sometimes even up to 10 days, allowing the buyer more time to decide if they want to proceed with their purchase. So let's move on to price per square foot. That is the 271 number on the screen. So this is a great metric for comparing similarly sized properties. Although the price per square foot typically decreases as square footage increases, so it's not the best for comparing properties of vastly different sizes. It can really help to analyze things like location, style, and age of homes that are similarly sized. So let's actually look at an example here on the Northwest MLS. We're going to look at 4 homes, each with an approximate square footage of 1,500 square feet. So all of these homes, by the way, have sold in the last month and a half, 2 months in, you guessed it, Central Tacoma. And this first one sold for $301,000, and take note, price per square foot is $205. So let's take a look at some of the pictures here. It's in a great location, but you can see that pretty much every room needs some major updating. Some rooms are partially gutted, and it needs a lot of work. So that is the $205 price point in the square footage range of 1,500. So moving on, square footage price per square foot jumps up to $228. Let's take a look at some of these pictures. This home sold for $332,000. And as you can see, it's a lot more updated. Beautiful hardwood floors, beautiful built-ins. One thing to take note of is that the kitchen could use some updating, with the appliances especially, and maybe the countertops. It's cute, but it could use a little work. And pardon my fast scrolling here, I want to get to the ends. This home also has a 1-car detached garage. So take note of that as we move forward here to the next home. So this jumps up to the $279 price per square foot range. And as you can see, these 2 homes that we've looked at are very similar in style. And they're both about 1,500 square feet. So what's the difference? So as you can see, this one Not staged, that helps a lot too, but that's a topic for another video. But pretty much every room has been remodeled or newly updated. New cabinets, new washer and dryer, new kitchen, new appliances, new countertops, things like that. And the kicker here is the garage. So it has a 2-car detached garage that looks insulated, looks new, looks great, she's gorgeous. So that is a good indication of why the price per square foot jumped up to $279 here. Now remember when I said age also has an effect on price per square foot on similarly sized homes. So let's go to this next one. This home was built in the year 2000. The home we just looked at was built in 1925. And price per square foot jumps from $279 to over $300. This one is $306 per square foot. So let's take a quick look here, and you can see it has an attached 2-car garage, nice updates, granite or quartz countertops, stainless steel appliances. I think you get the gist here. So age of home is a huge factor. How much the home has been updated is also a huge factor here. So that is essentially how you can use price per square foot to analyze homes of similar sizes. Let's move on here to median sales price. So that is the $368,000 number you see here on the screen. So this is the price of a home in the middle of the area you're analyzing. So half the homes on the market are priced above this number, and half the homes are priced below it. If there's not one house exactly in the middle, we take an average of the 2 homes in the middle. So here's an example. Let's look at 5 homes. Let's say these homes are priced at $250,000, $275,000, $300,000, $350,000, and then there's an outlier home priced at $800,000. The median price point here would be right in the middle at $300,000. So take note, the average price of these 5 homes would be $395,000, way above the $300,000 median price. So the general consensus is that the median price is a much better indicator of an area's typical home price because it doesn't get skewed by one or two of those outlying homes that may be priced way above or way below most of the other homes in the area. So when you see the median price decreasing over time, this typically means that sellers are reducing their home prices to respond to less buyer demand, or increasing their home prices to respond to greater buyer demand. Alright, let's move on to these active, pending, and sold numbers we see here on the screen, 7, 18, and 12. So these numbers are useful to know by themselves, but also more useful to understand within relationship to each other. For example, if last month shows a much larger number of active homes than pending and sold homes, this can indicate that sellers are pricing their homes too high. If pending homes is a much larger number than active homes, like we see here, this is an indicator that there is a great buyer demand in the area. If the number of sold homes is large, this is also an indicator that the data you're seeing is more accurate. If the number of sold homes is very low, the data you're seeing may not be the best indicator or picture of the overall market. So sold homes are where months of inventory, price per square foot, and median sale price are all used from. So if we don't have very many sold homes, then these numbers aren't really telling you very much. So let's move on to sold by price in the last 12 months. This is my favorite. So this graph here shows the number of homes that are sold between each price point in a bar graph. So this is a great indicator of home prices that you're likely to find in a certain area, and I use this in conjunction with the median price point to paint a good general picture of common price points that you'll see in the market based on certain areas. So once you're working with a lender and have a maximum dollar amount to work with, this graph can help you determine the likelihood of you finding a house that you can afford in different areas. For example, if your maximum loan amount is, let's say, $200,000, and in the last 12 months, you notice that only 10 out of 200 homes actually sold for the $200,000 price point, you probably should be looking in a different area. On the flip side, let's say you're approved for $450,000. And you can see here that the majority of homes are selling for a lot less than $450,000 in the $300,000 price mark. This is a good indicator that you're likely to be able to come in with a stronger offer than your competition in this area. Alright, so I just wanted to also point out that it's very important to consider that looking at either of these metrics by themselves don't provide a very accurate idea of the market. It's only when you look at these stats together that you can paint a better picture of how things actually are. Also, consider that the more hyper-local you get, the better. That's why we've organized Tacoma into micro-neighborhoods. So these stats vary drastically from neighborhood to neighborhood, and sometimes even from street to street. So I hope this helped you gain a little more perspective on how to interpret market data. These are factors that real estate agents use to determine the best list price of a home. And for a more in-depth analysis, we conduct a comparative market analysis, or a CMA. And this involves taking a very close look at what has recently been listed, pending, and sold in your immediate area, as well as analyzing how much above or below the list price homes are selling for, among other things. So if you're interested in this level of analysis, please reach out to us at Childers-Davidson Homes. We offer virtual CMAs and tours, staging advice, home warranties, and all the tools you need to sell your home with confidence. Thanks for watching. Namaste.